Orange Girl here with a quick tutorial. Alright, hi. So I've had quite a few people that have asked me how I did my journaling on the layout that is called Stay Magical, which was a couple layouts ago. And I thought I would just do a really quick tutorial to show you how I did that. So what I did is I started out with a text block. I went ahead and I typed in my text. I made sure to use a sketch font. If you use a font that is just a regular font, um, it will trace around the outside of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but for example, so if I just do like a regular font, you see how it does the outline of the word. It's not like a typewriter. So I used a sketch font. The one that I used was called Sweet Nora Sketch. So that's what I used. And I went ahead and I just got it, I think, at the Silhouette store. Okay, so to do this actual thing, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and type up whatever your text is, and then you need a shape. I just did a square, okay? And for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and scoot in here a little bit so that you can see. Here's my square. That might have been too far, sorry. Here's my square, and here is my writing. I'm going to go up to the pointer, the select tool right up here, okay? And I'm going to double click on my text. And when I do that, this little guy comes up, okay? And this is how I move him. So I'm going to move him over to the actual square. And I'm just clicking and dragging. And when you have it like this, it's on the inside of the square that you made. Do you see that? I went on the outside of my square. So if you just keep going, it's a little tedious, but now I'm on the outside of the square and you can see the text is going a different way. Do you see that? Okay. So once you've done this, there's a couple of things to look at. One of the things is it's possible that like the word imagine here is going around the corner. Maybe I don't want that to happen. So maybe I'm okay with it as long as it's imagine, or maybe I need to go like this, and all I'm doing is sticking my cursor in there and putting some spaces in. And then maybe if I go over to this side and I add a few over here so that it's centered, maybe I'm okay with that then. And you just have to kind of mess around with it a little bit, hitting delete and spacebar just to kind of get it to wherever you want it to be. And once you have it there, you send it to Silhouette just like you would anything else. So you go to send. And then on this page right here where you're getting ready your cut settings, you switch from cut to sketch. And then one of the things that I always do is I change the passes to 2 passes. I say always, I haven't really done that all this much, but if I go ahead and change the passes to 2 passes, that means it's going to go over each of the letter twice. That just kind of gives me a little bit of reassurance that it will work and you will be able to see the words really well. I especially would do this if you're using textured cardstock like I did. Now, another little hint is that if you do go ahead and do the print and it prints it all around or sketches it, whatever, and it doesn't work, if you don't take it out of the machine, if you don't unload it, and you leave it right in there when it's finished and you hit for it to go again, it'll go right over where it did before because you haven't taken out your mat and put your mat back in. If you don't unload it, then you should be able to have it redo it, and it will redo it right over where you did it before. I did that a couple times. So mine had like 4 passes or whatever instead of just 2 when I did mine, partly because I had an old sketch pen. I honestly have had these forever and never used them. So now I'm going to show you a couple other different things that you can do. So that's that. And if you go back to, this was actually mine. I have the grid set up here because what I did when I did mine is my piece of paper that I was using was 11 by 11. And you can see that would be right here on this grid. And so I first made a square that was 11 by 11. Then I made a square on the inside of that, which is what you see here in green. And that green square is where I then did my text, had my text go around that, and then I deleted the 11 by 11 piece because that would have just been a cut, and I didn't want to cut anything. I just wanted to use that as a guide. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of what I did when I did it. Okay, and then here I want to show you a couple other things that you can do. So here I have my text here, and pretty much anything that you can do, anything you have, any sort of shape or whatever, you can turn into a journaling. So this is kind of wonky, but you get the idea. So I just drew this with the drawing tool. And then if I go back to my select tool, double click, so I get this little guy and drag it over, it should go on the spiral. Okay. So here's one more example and then we'll call it done. This is the Heart and Soul cut file from the cut shop, and I have my text here. I'm going to go ahead and double click on my text, get the little guy, and I want my text to kind of start down here and go this way. Whoops. It's a little finicky. There. Oh, rats. Sorry. Let me try that over. The reason that it, there you go. Okay. There, I still had it clicked when I tried to let go, so there. So that's another one that you could do, another shape, any sort of shape, anything you have a cut file for, you could make happen. So that's it. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about anything, or if you if it's not clear and you don't understand something, just go ahead and leave me a comment and I'll do my best to figure out what you need and help out if I can. Thanks a lot. See you again soon.